6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Hassan Gilani. First, the headlines. Government has launched detailed official results of country's first digital census with total population of 241.49 million. Planning Minister says Pakistan and China have agreed to convene an early meeting of the Joint Financing Committee for ML1 project. Kashmiris on both sides of the line of control and the world over will observe the accession to Pakistan Day tomorrow with a renewed pledge to continue plebiscite struggle. 54 Palestinians were martyred in relentless Israeli strikes across besieged Gaza during the last 24 hours. In Bangladesh, 6 people were killed during clash between quota protesters and police in Dhaka today. Women's Asia Cup will begin at Dambulla in Sri Lanka tomorrow. And now the news in detail. Pakistan Bureau of Statistics launched the detailed official results of the country's first digital census in Islamabad today. According to data, total population of the country stands at 241.49 million, with 51.48% males and 48.51% females. The census data shows that current population growth rate is 2.55%, which is the highest in the region, and if it continues, the country's population will double by 2050. The average number of family members in Pakistan is 6.30, while the dominant religion is Islam, representing 96% of the population. Age-wise enumeration of population shows 36.47 million populace under 5 years, 97.53 million under 15, 62.58 million between 15 to 29, 190.27 million is below 40 years of age. Literacy indicators shows 61% of Pakistan's population aged 10 years and above is literate. Addressing the ceremony as chief guest, Minister for Planning and Development Ahsan Iqbal said transparency was ensured in the country's first digital census through use of technology. Minister for Planning and Development Ahsan Iqbal presided over a meeting in Islamabad today to review the implementation status of the decisions regarding CPEC projects. Speaking on the occasion, he said there is complete agreement between the leaderships of China and Pakistan on the second phase of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. The minister said his visit to China last week focused on the strategic implementation of these decisions to ensure the success of CPEC 2.0. Mentioning the global interest in China's economic development model, he said world leaders are keen to benefit from China's innovative approach. Ahsan Iqbal urged the Ministry of Railways to expedite the documentation and preparatory steps for ML1 project. He said during his recent visit to China, both countries agreed to convene an early meeting of the Joint Financing Committee for ML1 project, which will take place within a month. Finance Minister Mohammad Aurangzeb has reaffirmed government's commitment for fostering export-led growth and providing a conducive environment for local manufacturers. He was talking to a delegation of Pakistan Mobile Phone Manufacturers Association in Islamabad today. The minister emphasized the importance of increasing the focus on policy framework for exports. He also acknowledged the valuable feedback and underscored the government's commitment for expanding the entire digital ecosystem in the country. Federal government has decided to launch a nationwide survey to gather data on drug users, marking a significant step towards evolving effective anti-narcotic strategies. Chairing a meeting of the Committee for the National Drug Survey in Islamabad, Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi directed to finalize matters related to survey within 15 days. The survey will be a comprehensive exercise covering homes, educational institutions, slums and other areas. The data collected will enable policymakers to make informed decisions in the fight against narcotics. The Interior Minister on the occasion emphasized the importance of accurate survey data, stating that it will be crucial in shaping effective anti-narcotics strategies. The Anti-Narcotics Force and Pakistan Bureau of Statistics will jointly conduct the survey with international development organizations. Law Minister Azam Nazir Tarar has said ad hoc judges should be appointed as the Constitution allows for their appointment. In a post on his Facebook page, he said the news report regarding extension in the tenure of Supreme Court Chief Justice Qazi Faiz Isa are incorrect. Regarding the political situation in the country, the Law Minister said there is a genuine case of Article 6 against the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf leaders. This is Radio Pakistan. Kashmiris on both sides of the line of control and the world over will observe Accession to Pakistan Day tomorrow with a renewed pledge to continue the plebiscite struggle. It was on 19th July 1947 when genuine representatives of the Kashmiris unanimously passed the resolution of Kashmir's accession to Pakistan during a meeting of the All Jammu and Kashmir Muslim Conference in Srinagar. This historic resolution calls for accession of the Jammu and Kashmir to Pakistan in view of religious, geographical, cultural and economic proximity to Pakistan and aspirations of Kashmiri people. Meanwhile, posters of accession to Pakistan Day appeared in Srinagar and other parts of the territory. Read that 19th July is of special significance and an important day in the history of Jammu and Kashmir when the Kashmiri people had attached their future with Pakistan in 1947. Meanwhile, Indian troops in their fresh act of state terrorism martyred 2 Kashmiri youth in Kupwara district today. In Bangladesh, 6 people were killed and several hundred others injured during a clash between quota protesters and police in Dhaka today. Protesting students also set the Bangladesh Television Center at Rampura on fire this afternoon. Most parts of the Dhaka wore an almost deserted look today, with city streets remaining empty due to complete shutdown announced by the protesting students across the country. Students are demanding abolition of a quota of 30% reservations in government jobs. 54 Palestinians were martyred in relentless Israeli strike across besieged Gaza during the last 24 hours. The health ministry in Gaza said the martyrdom toll of Palestinians in Israeli aggression and barbaric bombardment since October 7 last year has risen to 38,848. The statement said 89,459 people have been wounded in Gaza Strip during the last 9 months. The United Nations has denounced an Israeli government spokesperson for calling the head of its agency for Palestinian refugees a terrorist sympathizer. The spokesman for UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, Stephanie Dujarric, said the comments were downright dangerous. He said the rhetoric reprehensible. Nelson Mandela International Day is being observed today to celebrate the life and legacy of the first native African president of South Africa. This year's theme of Mandela International Day is Combat Poverty and Inequality is in Our Hands. Nelson Mandela devoted his life to the service of humanity as human rights lawyer, an international peacemaker, and the first democratically elected president of free South Africa. US President Joe Biden has cancelled his participation in the election campaign after he was tested positive for COVID-19. White House Press Secretary Karen Jean-Pierre informed that the president has taken the vaccine against coronavirus. According to Pierre, Biden will remain in quarantine at his home in Rehoboth, Delaware. President Asif Ali Zardari and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif have expressed good wishes for the early recovery of US President Joe Biden. In a statement, the president conveyed his sincere hopes for President Biden's good health and well-being. In his message on X, Prime Minister also expressed his best wishes for the US President Joe Biden's swift and complete recovery from COVID. Women's Asia Cup will begin at Dambulla in Sri Lanka tomorrow with opening match between Nepal and United Arab Emirates. Match will start at 1:30 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Pakistan women will play their first match against Indian women tomorrow. The match will start at 6:30 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Finally, the weather. Hot and humid weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain, windstorm and thunder shower is expected in Gilgit-Baltistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Potohar region, Islamabad, Punjab, Southeast and Upper Sindh and Northeast Balochistan. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.